Hi guys, it's Amanda from the Fiction Fairy, and today I am bringing you a book haul and unboxing. Now, some of these books I have already received in a ARC copy, which was a paperback, and these are just some finished copies that I was getting. I also got just some regular ARCs in here too. All of these books that I'm going to show you today I received from HarperCollins or one of their subsidiaries, and I would like to thank them for sending me these books, these finished copies and these ARC copies. But just to let you guys know, I did not purchase any of these books. I did receive all of them for review. So let's get started. The first book that I got was Blackbird by Anna Carey, and this is a finished copy, and I did actually have an ARC copy of this too, which is in paperback, but this finished copy is beautiful. The Blackbird wording is written in, I don't really know how to explain it, but it feels kind of like slimy, like it feels. The cover is matte, and then this is kind of like a slimy, almost nail polish type finish. So very excited about this. I did try to read this book once or twice. I picked it up. I don't know if maybe it was just the timing was off, that I really wasn't able to get into it, but I am going to try it again, and it's a very, very short book, so I want to give it a chance. I do like Anna Carey, so I think that maybe the timing was just off, and maybe if I give it another go, I'll be able to get into it, because everybody who has read this has said that this is a very good kind of like psychological thriller, and it kind of, some people even said like blew their mind. So for such a short book to get kind of really good reviews like that, I want to give it another chance and see what it is that I'm missing out on. So I want to see if it has anything special under the cover. It does have the red wording, and that's cute. I like when they do something here, but they didn't, but that's okay. You guys know how I feel about hardbacks anyway, you know, they're not necessarily my favorite because of that, trying to put this cover back on, but anywho, the second book I got was Falling Into Place by Amy Zhang, and to be honest with you, this cover does not entice me at all. You guys know that I love covers, whether I get burned by them or not. This does not draw me to it. It has mathematical equations here. It has like a little roadway falling into place, which also feels like nail polish, and then a little car. And if I saw this on a shelf somewhere, I would not pick this up. I'm kind of hoping at some point they do a cover change for this if it's a really popular book, but I'm not quite sure if that will be the case. However, people who have read this book says it's really good, that it's about a girl who apparently drives her car off a bridge, and I don't know if she does die, I don't know if she's in the in-between, I don't know if her life flashes before her eyes and she ends up not dying, I'm not quite sure, but they said that this was a very emotional book and this was a very good book, and I do like books that have that type of premise about them, and the top says there are no accidents, so I don't really know what that means. But I do now want to read this just because I've watched some other people's reviews on it on the blogosphere and on YouTube. But the cover itself never would have drawn me to it. I don't love it. Sometimes with these contemporaries, they're either like way too like whimsical with the people and the flowers, or they're way too kind of like you have to put a lot of thought into it. And when it's 30 seconds or less that you have to look at a cover, I need to be drawn to it right away, and this would not have drawn me to it. But like I said, I'm excited to read it because several people have said that this was a really great book. This also has red lettering, so that's kind of cool. So, the next books that I received were a finished copy of A New Darkness by Joseph Delaney. I did also receive this in an ARC form. When I looked at this on Goodreads, this seems like this is a re-release. I think this was released overseas, and the covers over there look kind of like very middle grade-y. I didn't really like them. They're kind of like reminiscent of kind of like lemony snickety type covers, and then it looks like they re-released it over here in the States and gave it kind of more of a young adult feel cover. However, I think that it might still be middle grade on the curve of young adult, and this is basically just about a boy who hunts things that go bump in the night, ghouls, creeps, things like that, and it says the time has come to fight alone because his teacher who taught him how to hunt all these things has died, and now he kind of has to step up to the plate and fill his teacher's shoes. It sounded like a good premise. I really do enjoy the cover. I don't really know. I'll probably read this one in October just because it's maybe the Halloween month will kind of get me into it a little bit more, but we will see how this one goes. The next book that I received is Kiss of Broken Glass, and this is by Madeline Kadarick. And if you guys have watched my videos, you know that I read and received an art copy of this maybe like a month and a half, 2 months ago. I read this for the Bout of Books 10.0 readathon, and I absolutely loved and adored this book. This book is about a girl who's in middle school who starts cutting to be part of a popular group, cutting as in cutting her skin to be part of a popular group, and teachers find out about it, and she gets put into a mental health facility for 72 hours, and this just tells her story. It tells why she was cutting. You know, she thought she was doing it to be popular, but perhaps there's some other issues that are underlining, and this is written in 72-hour format, you know, hour 12, hour 16, hour 48, and it's also written in lyrical format, which I had never read before. So this is really nice to read. It's a quick read. It's a absolutely amazing read. I love this book. I gave this a 5 out of 5 cupcakes. I just love it, and this story actually has to do with Madeline Kadarick, the author, her real life story of something that actually did happen to her daughter. I'm sure there were some liberties taken, but the premise of the story really came from real life, and I like when authors put a bit of their real life into the story that they're telling because it makes me connect more to it. So I really loved and enjoyed this book, and I'm glad that I got a finished copy of it because I really wanted one for my shelf. So the next book that I received is Positive, and it's a memoir by Paige Rawl with Allie Benjamin. And this book, I don't want to say it was like The View or something, but I saw this somewhere actually on TV also. And this is a memoir about a girl who ends up being HIV positive. I believe she finds out when she's maybe 11 or 12, and she like tells her best friend, and her best friend goes and basically blabs it to everybody, and she essentially ends up getting bullied by the kids in school. She even gets bullied by, I believe, like her soccer coach or one of her athletic coaches, who says basically, you know, we'll always give you the ball because the other team will never want to run up and try to get it from you because you're HIV positive. And this is just her telling that story, and probably her overcoming, you know, what she went through when she was younger. I believe she ended up moving to a new school, and I think things may have gotten better for her after she moved. So it's just her telling her story, and I really do like memoirs, especially ones like this, and I think that I'm definitely going to enjoy it. It sounds like it may be a bit of an emotional book, so I probably will hold off reading it a little bit, but I can't wait to read this book, and I'm really looking forward to it. Last set of books that I received are art copies, and the first one is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. And this comes out in October, and this is a fantasy book. This cover is amazing, and this book I highlighted in my Waiting on Wednesday a couple months back, maybe 4 months back, and this basically is just about a girl whose like kingdom has fallen apart, and she's going to, like most fantasy books, trying to take back the kingdom, take back, you know, her home, make it whole again, and it's just very, very interesting. And the back basically says, 16 years ago, the kingdom of winter was conquered and its citizens enslaved, leaving them without a magic or monarch. The Winterans' only hope for freedom is the 8 survivors who managed to escape and who have been searching for the chance to steal back winter's magic and rebuild their kingdom ever since. So, yes please. And you see that there's like a winter on this side. If you look inside of this circle, it looks like it's a spring or summer. So I'm super happy about this. I don't know if this has to do with Faye, because I'd be so excited if it does. But regardless, it sounds really, really good, and I cannot wait to read this because I've been waiting on this since I first heard about it, so about a year. So I'm really excited about that book. The next book I got was Stray by Alyssa Sussman, and this also comes out in October. I think this cover is so cool, and to be honest with you, every time I saw it, I thought that this was a bluebird. Does this look like a bluebird to you guys? Well, once I got the book, I looked at it. It's actually a princess in a blue dress with her hand against a tree, and this is her crown. Let me show you guys a little closer. So I thought that that was cool, that from afar it looks like a bluebird, but it's really a princess, so I'm wondering if that's going to play into the story at all. I don't know, because I really have no clue what this is about. It says it's a cross between The Handmaid's Tale and Wicked, with a dash of Grimm and Disney thrown in. This original tale is part coming-of-age story, part fairy tale, part adventure, and part sweet romance. So that's a lot of parts to a book. But yeah, I can't wait to read this and see what this is about, considering that the cover is a little bit of a dual cover here. So I'm excited about that one. And the last book that I got, which subsequently came a little bit crumpled, is The Fall by Bethany Griffin. A little crumple right there, but that's alright. And this comes out in October, which is fitting because this looks like this is a scary book. And this says, madness is in the very air she breathes. So I wonder if the air is infected with something. I'm not quite sure, but this looks super cool. This actually reminds me of something that would be like a WB show. I don't know, WB seems to have like these types of shows. It just seems like that would be something like it. And it says, Madeline Usher has been buried alive by her own twin brother. It says, but how did it come to this? By remaining Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of Usher, Bethany Griffin masterfully spins a haunting and powerful tale of a tragic heroine and the curse of the Usher family. Gothic, moody, and suspenseful from beginning to end, this is literary horror for fans of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and Asylum. Now, Miss Peregrine's Home gets kind of mixed reviews, but I did read Asylum and I did like it, and apparently this is a retelling of an Edgar Allan Poe, The House of the Fall of Usher. I have never heard of that. I've never read it, but it sounds interesting. I do like Edgar Allan Poe. He's very creepy, so I think that this would be a fantastic book too. I can't wait to read it. Yeah, so I am excited about this. So guys, those are the books that I received so far this month. If you guys have read any of them, let me know in the comment section down below. If you want to read any of them, let me know in the comment section down below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know in the comment section down below. And let's just get a little chit chat going, guys. And thank you so much for coming past the Fiction Fairy and watching my book haul and unboxing. Thanks, guys.